Howdy, how y'all doing? This is George the Fearless Rambler, and we're at Caye Caulker to do a shark encounter, and she's gonna lead us on it. And it's gonna be a fun activity, and we'd love to have you come join us. Sailing aboard the beautiful Enchanted Princess for a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise with our friends Chet and Robin, we got a chance to stop by Belize City on our 3rd port of call. And today we're taking you on an unforgettable adventure off the coast of Belize, one of the most unique excursions we've ever done, our Caye Caulker shark and ray encounter with Princess Cruise Line. Now, Belize is known what we call a tender port, which means the ship anchors offshore and you take a small boat called a tender into the city. Now, the ride took about 20 minutes, and right away you know this was going to be a different kind of day.
Over your head, around your neck, around your back, and one hook. Everybody got it? Yes. Let's sit back and enjoy this awesome ride, guys. Thank you.
Okay, heading into Belize City, going on a shark swimming encounter at Cocktail Caye, if I remember what it's called. We're going to swim with some nurse sharks. We're going to try it. Now, this tender is going to lead us to the Fort Street Tourism Village. This village is secured, that is also fenced in area with some great shopping, bars, and restaurants. Due to its location, the best activities involve booking excursions to the mainland jungle adventures, Mayan ruins, and the nearby caves for snorkeling, and that's what we're doing. Once we arrived in Belize City, we headed down to Terminal 3 to gather with our Princess Cruise Line excursion group. At this port, everyone seemed excited. You could just feel the energy. For us, this just wasn't a simple beach day. We're about to snorkel at the Belize Barrier Reef, visit the Isle Caye Caulker, and most important, swim with sharks and rays. Quite loud over here. People just out getting excited about their excursions. Yeah, this is gonna be a real fun day. Heading over to Terminal 3, you jump on another boat, and it's another 25 or 45 minutes of more bumpy water. Bam, 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 bam. After a quick check-in and safety overview, we boarded a fast-moving powerboat. And let me tell you, this wasn't a slow cruise. This was about a 15-minute ride across open water to Caye Caulker, and it was an adventure all on its own. It's the type of ride that Terry likes.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway.
Island guy, he lives here. When we arrived at Caye Caulker, we made a quick stop for a restroom break before we headed out to the reef. And this is where the snorkeling portion of the tour began. They handed out some snorkeling gear, make sure the mask fit, got some sunscreen on, and they headed us back to the boat. And Terry, she headed out to the front with all of her equipment. And then a 5 to 2 minute boat ride out to that great barrier reef. Hey, we're gonna go snorkeling. The snorkel thing. As Terry's hopping off the boat into the water, ready to do some snorkeling, I want to be real with you here, because this is what we do on this channel. The snorkeling experience we had here was a little bit different to what I'm used to. Instead of free diving and exploring on your own, like you've seen on my other videos, this is more of a guided drifting tour with some snorkeling gear. We were all instructed to wear or hold our life jackets, and we floated together as a group as the current carried us along the reef. The water below us was about 10 to 20 feet deep, and you can see the coral formations and the fish swimming beneath you. But because of the setup, with these life jackets, you weren't able to dive down and get close to the reef or the fish. For me, someone who enjoys more that hands-on snorkeling, this felt a bit limiting. But with that said, if you're new to snorkeling or not super confident in the water, this setup is actually great. It's safe, it's controlled, and you still get to see the beauty of that reef without needing advanced snorkeling skills. Just floating around, enjoying the scenery. What else do you need? Now the guide, he was fantastic, very knowledgeable and engaging. He would dive down, bring up some different sea life, and show them to us as a group. You could tell he really knew the reef and cared about sharing his knowledge.
There these are the queen conch. Here, pass it around. We're not arguing any way. Pass it around. Here's another. These are the queen conch, guys. Like I was asking earlier, how many of you guys ever had conch? You could boil it, conch soup, fried conch fritter, ceviche, conch salad. After we add the palm pro, the tails over with it. If you're lucky, you can even find pearl in some of the conch.
Now Terry, as she was drifting along, was pointing out some beautiful fish and corals right below her. And it's always pretty neat to see some purple fan coral just swaying in the current, with the fish just mingling around them. Swimming along the grasses, we got a chance to see a buffalo trunkfish. This is one of the larger trunkfish in the water, growing in length about 20 inches. It's also known as a buffalo fish, and it has this obvious hump on the back. Now a yellowtail snapper comes by to say hi, as a yellowfin grouper kind of hides in the shadows. Now our guide, he was happy to point out these trunkfish peas, and on this dive, there's a buttload of them. Now our guide was calling this a flamingo conch, but really it's a Conus flamingo, a species of sea snail. Now these snails are predatory, venomous, and capable of stinging humans. Now don't be surprised if you see some slippery in the water. These are common fast-moving species of wrasse found in shallow coral reefs. Now notice a yellowtail damselfish darting in and out of the star coral. These fish are abundant in the coral reef environment and very native to tropical areas such as the Caribbean coast. Floating above a Caribbean reef feels almost unreal. As soon as you put your face in the water, everything goes quiet. You're surrounded by a calm, weightless world. Fish glide past you in every direction, and spotting something below you like a white grunt moving through the reef makes this moment feel even more real. Now when something swims close, there's a quick rush of excitement mixed with awe. It's peaceful, humbling, and something you don't forget. Dance with the waves, move with the sea. Let the rhythm of the water set your soul free. End quote. Christy Ann Martine. As we're heading back to the boat, I just want to mention that this was not my favorite style of snorkeling, but I could see that there were a lot of people in the group that were really enjoying it, and that's what really matters. Because the real highlight of this excursion, well, it's still ahead. That's swimming with the sharks. Now let me tell you, this is where things get exciting. As we approached the area, you could already see movement in the water, shadows gliding beneath the surface, and then suddenly they were everywhere. Nurse sharks and stingrays. Now before you panic, these are nurse sharks, which are generally harmless and used to human interaction. Still, when you're standing in the water and the sharks swim right past your legs, your heart definitely skips a beat or two. Now being one of the last persons off the boat, they gave me a chance to feed a magnificent frigate bird, also known as a man-of-war, is a large black seabird commonly spotted here in Belize. And a little bit of fact, it has over a 7-foot wingspan. Maybe that's why they call it magnificent. Now I think the sharks come here because of the treats. Look at that, they're well fed. And I think a little bit of mackerel or anchovies is a free treat they just can't refuse. Now me and Terry, we hopped in the water, and right away we were surrounded. The sharks are swimming all around you, weaving between people. They might be brushing past gently or even bumping into you. Now the stingrays, they just glide across the sandy bottom like something out of a dream. Now here's the thing, you're not behind glass, and you're not looking down on them from a boat. No, you're in the water with them. Yeah, you're all in it. Now you can just stand there on the sandy bottom, float on the surface, or swim directly towards them. It just doesn't matter. These incredible creatures just move through the water around you like you're part of their world. It is surreal, and certainly it is thrilling. And honestly, it's one of the coolest experiences that I've ever had. Nurse sharks are about 7 to 10 feet in length, bottom dwelling, brownish yellow, and known for their blunt heads and small mouths. Now I think this trunkfish wanted to get in some of the action, but let me tell you, I don't think so, because these sharks were getting all the food. Now take a few minutes and look around a little bit. You might find other marine life just below the surface, such as these barjacks leading me to a queen conch. Yes, it looks like they're being guarded by southern stingrays, but if you take a second and pick it up, yeah, you got a new experience. Now the queen conch here in Belize are large edible marine snails found in shallow sand areas and seagrass beds near the barrier reef. Now this long tom, He's making sure I'm putting this conch back. It's not in season, so no pretty shell for me. I think the dinner bell is over. As quick as they came, they also left. They're looking for the next boat with some more treats. And that's not us, so it's time to get back in the boat and head out of here. Back to Caye Caulker. With that, the drinks came out and the rum punch, it was flowing. As we finished up the shark swim and ended up at Caye Caulker, there's a saying that I like from Jack White. Quote, "Passion, for me, is like a shark. It never stops moving." End quote. And that's how cruises are. One thing right after another. In this case, we just kept on moving to those showers. A good rinse off, and then we're ready for lunch.
Welcome to Lazy Lizard.
Now lunch was not part of the excursion, nor was it cheap. But after a long swim, I was pretty hungry.
We got ceviche, that's blackened some type of fish. Probably snapper.
We had to order our lunch at the beginning of the excursion, way before we got to Caye Caulker.
That looks really good. I just tried one of these ceviche chips. I tried this pepper, and I found out the Scoville rating is pretty high. They're habaneros at least. Burnt the crap out of my mouth. But I'm gonna go ahead and try one of these chips and tell you how it is. I'm gonna get a big old shrimp. They're huge shrimp in here. Have some calamari, it looks like.
Now, that is
So
a
mix.
huge bowl of ceviche.
I'm glad I only got one.
Come on over and get some.
You know I'm not eating that.
If there were some mussels on it, I think Robin would love them. But there's no mussels in here, just calamari and shrimp.
That's it.
Mmm. Delicious. Other than those habaneros that burnt the crap out of my mouth.
The habanero I would go for, but you know, it's not.
Oh, got 3 or 4 of them. My mouth is still burning. Okay, what you think, Terry?
So far, it's been great.
Are you the chef?
Yes, sir. For 32 years I've been baking. I
Wow.
make the best. Have a look. See what I'm like.
What do you got here?
I got banana bread and chocolate chip. Right here, banana bread and chocolate chip. I got some coconut cake. I got some coconut roll, which is like cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, rose water, brown sugar, and coconut. We got chocolate brownies, carnation milk. It's all good.
So what is the verdict so far? Well, if you're looking for an easy, beginner-friendly snorkeling experience with unforgettable wildlife encounters, this is a great excursion. If you're more an advanced snorkeler like me, the reef portion might feel a little bit limiting, but the shark and ray encounter more than makes up for it. It's unique, it's exciting, and it's something you'll be talking about a long time after the cruise is over. And that's what travel is all about. But there's one more thing we're going to do before we head back, and that's to see Tarpon Cove.
They're big
Look at how big they
fish.
are. Oh, they're following. No, come right here. Look at them. They're following right along with us. Look how big that one is. Look how big he is.
Ports in Belize. Catch the tarpon, the bonefish, and the permit. That's a grand slam.
Oh,
You
wow.
have fishermen that come fish for a week. If they catch a grand slam in the first day, they don't fish.
That's pretty doggone close footage right there. Where are you? Whoa!
Airborne.
They like hunters.
Whoa!
I want to give a big shout out to the crew and the staff of this excursion. They were fantastic, friendly, professional, and they made sure that everybody felt safe and had a good time. And it made the day even better getting to share the experience with our YouTuber friends, Chet and Robin from Sea Lake Journeys. Now it's full speed ahead, heading back to Belize City.
Wow, that was a fun excursion. I appreciate everybody for joining us today. Everybody's in a party mood. It was extremely exciting here, doing that shark encounter, and going ahead and doing some snorkeling. I appreciate everybody for joining us today. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. Give me 2 thumbs up, because this is George the Fearless Rambler, ready to head off to Belize City to spend some money. Signing off.